GP, Trevor, the work is doing the Hive, all of you that support us, you're all part of that ecosystem, but it does take collaboration and communication to make this work. No single organization can meet the needs of our food system, but together we can build pipelines, reduce barriers, and support innovation from farm to fork. It's tourism. Like, who doesn't love like a foodie-based event? We have the Cocoa Crawl happening. It's part of the economy. It's an economic driver. And it's very vital that we support these folks. I'm not going to read the rest of it because it's kind of boring. Anyway, the local food systems don't grow on their own. They need investment, infrastructure, and collaboration. Policy, shared resources, and opportunities for entrepreneurs to test, refine, and scale their ideas. When you get involved in the food system, it's kind of daunting. The more that I've learned and been in the food system, it's a lot of work to get there and test and get the right licenses and go through the whole process. We are in the process of bringing a downtown located co-share commissary kitchen over in the Caveman Plaza. It'll be an open space. It'll be adjunctive space to here. It's not going to supersede it. We'll still do the 1MC, but it'll be another space for us to support our food entrepreneurs as they're moving through the system. They can test some R&D. And we'll be able to offer them that space. When they're a cottage industry, it's really challenging moving to that next step, to that commercial license. You need a commercial kitchen. So I just wanted to share that. That's something new, and there is discussion in the region with City of Grants Pass and others about bringing a co-packing food-grade facility to Grants Pass with dry and cold storage. So we are growing, and the reason we're growing is because of all of you. Today, focus is on food systems, so we have two incredible people who are involved in the food system, and I am going to invite them up to the stage, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So Renee and Carrie, if you'd like to join me, please. Please give a warm round of applause for, thank you for being here. All right, is there a mic? Oh, this is your mic. Yep, this is your mic. All right, I'll let you.
I was a teacher for so long, I just always used my teacher voice. I never had a microphone. Do you want me to go first, Renee? Okay, great. So I'm Carrie Jushaw. I'm the executive director of the Josephine County Farm Collective, and I'm wearing kind of two hats today because I'm also on the council for the Rogue Valley Food System Network, who is our backbone organization for everyone connected in Southern Oregon to the Hi, Robert. To the local food system network. And whether if you eat food, you're part of that network. So however you fit into it, business-wise, I think after today, you'll probably learn that you are definitely connected. So the Farm Collective began in the pandemic. So it was just a couple farms that lost all of their sales outlets when everything closed down. And we started organizing to share resources. And instead of all of us driving to the same customers and purchasing all of our products and inputs and packaging separately, we started doing that together. And then I already had an online marketplace, so I started sharing that with some other farmers. And we just learned very quickly that not only did it meet the needs of the community better, because having an online marketplace was more accessible, it saved everybody money and time. Because when you're running a farm by yourself, anytime you're out driving around making deliveries or just networking, you're off the farm, so you're not making food. So it was a really good solution. We've doubled our customer enrollment every year since, and we've doubled our producer enrollment. We're now supporting about 40 local producers. In 2023, our stakeholders felt like we were more mission-driven and really following neighbors, feeding neighbors, value-based goals. So we transitioned to a nonprofit. We're now a registered nonprofit organization. And Rogue Valley Food System Network was really key in being our fiscal sponsor through that 1.5-year process, which is a long process if you've gone through that, so that we didn't have to lose any momentum and we could keep serving the community. So we're a food hub, and if that's a new term to you, there's a whole network of food hubs across the state of Oregon operating under the direction of Oregon Community Food System Network. They not only supervise the food hub, but they work on a statewide Veggie RX effort that connects health industry to our local farmers, and that's where our food hubs kind of jump in the middle. So if I get a school district that wants 500 pounds of grapes, I can go to 5 different small producers and get 100 pounds from each of them, and we're still connecting directly to that institution, meeting that need. They also support the Farm to Institution Collaborative, which is what I just described to you, and they work on our legislative floor advocating for our small businesses. Okay, so what is a food hub? Each food hub across the state looks a little different. So some are for-profit, some are nonprofit, some are economic developers. So each one really meets the unique needs of each community throughout the state. What we do all have in common is that we have an online marketplace and we distribute food. It's called aggregate distribution. So all of our producers bring us what they are growing, and we take the orders and we pack it, and then we go out and deliver it for them so that they can keep working on their farms. Some food hubs also have extended services, like a shared commercial kitchen, which is not something a small farmer can afford to do if they want to develop their own hot sauce or a barbecue sauce. Some of them have technical advising for business development, farm-to-school programs, or emergency food assistance during local crisis. So those vary, again, but most of our food hubs throughout the state are rurally located. So what we do as a farm collective is we work both sides of that equation. We're connecting our consumers to our small producers. On the consumer side, we're providing education on how to change your diet and eat better and improve your health as a result of eating fresh local produce. And then we provide all the tools for them to do that. We provide the food, the educational program, and then all the access. So we're delivering to homes for people who don't have transportation. We're promoting, we deliver to businesses that we call it our work wellness, and even some of our businesses will subsidize part of that to encourage good health in their employees. And then we process all of the SNAP, the WIC, the Senior Farm Direct Nutrition Vouchers, all of those subsidies that help us reach low-income audiences on the consumer side. We do that for our producers. And then on the producer side, we're extending market opportunities. So we have a farm stand at the food hub. We go out and deliver in Josephine and Jackson County. And then we go out to the Cave Junction Farmers Market twice a month as well, which is quite a food desert out there. There are some areas in Josephine County, they don't have a grocery store. They just have a convenience store or a gas station, and most of those don't have fresh produce. So there are areas in Josephine County where there's just not fresh food available. And then we're providing technical assistance for our producers as well, to help them build their businesses and make smart decisions. And often is just streamlining their process in the agricultural industry itself. So maybe that means using a piece of equipment that will help you reduce your labor costs or that kind of thing. Labor is really just hard to find right now. So all of our services can kind of be summarized into 3 categories. Our food distribution, and we have a picture of our pack house here. It's a pretty small building, but we turn it over. It's very multi-purpose. So there's my staff that provides, we provide a shared staff. We're packing orders right there, and then we're gonna go out and deliver those the very next day. We turn that same building over to our farm stand Tuesday evenings. So right now we're open 3 to 6 year round. So you can still come out and get fresh produce even through the winter time. And meat too. We have beef and chicken and fish. So anything we can't find super hyper local, we're gonna go out a little farther. So we have beef and chicken coming from Douglas County, and right now we're bringing in sustainable fish from Port Orford and cranberries for the holidays, so from Bandon. And then our consumer educational programs. This is our fermenting on the farm class pictured here. So we're teaching Wildcraft, which is a small business here that makes sauerkraut. They're teaching folks how to make their own sauerkraut. And then we do pop-up kids farmers markets all through the county, in Josephine and Jackson County too, where we set up our whole farmers market booth, and we give kids crunch bucks. They get to learn how to manage their money, do their own shopping, and it's interesting to see, what they are thinking when they're shopping. Like, wow, food's really expensive, or how do I stretch my $20, or what is my family going to eat actually? So it's there's a family here just pictured when they finished doing their own shopping. And then we put recipes in their bags at the end. So when the parents get this bag of groceries that matches, they have some idea of how to prepare it. So we're trying to reduce food waste as well. And then we're helping our producers grow as well. And I have Tyser Creek Farm mentioned here. They're kind of our star producer. They started with us 4 years ago as a first-year farmer, and this year they are actually fulfilling institutional level orders. So we have helped them scale up year after year, improving, keeping their quality at a level, and their food safety plans, or all those documentations that kind of get put in the wayside. So this is an example. There's Charlotte delivering like 500 heads of lettuce. So I'm going to skip over, but these are all the services we provide for our producers. There's a lot of administrative work we do. I will mention, though, that working with Rogue Valley Food System Network, we published this flavor guide. If you don't have a copy, I put some on the tables. Anyone connected to the Food System Network is in here. So vineyards, your trout, yeah, there's a couple, grab them. If you're a farm, a ranch, a restaurant sourcing locally, agritourism opportunities, if you're in the network. So right now, I think you can still get in the next one, the next publication, if you contact Allison or myself before December 2nd. And then a couple additional resources that we offer at the Farm Collective. We just opened Harvest Community Kitchen, so we have a licensed commercial kitchen now for the public to rent. So if you do need a facility to try out a recipe, perfect that, we work directly with our ODA inspector. So she's already been here and approved our facility. And then we're building, with the help of AgWest Credit and Four-Way Foundation, they're helping us build a small farm lending library of equipment. So startup beginning farmers can try a piece of equipment before they spend a huge amount of capital to make sure it's going to work in their application. It also provides some resiliency, so it never fails during planting or harvesting. Your equipment fails. So if we have this lending library we can share amongst all of our producers, we have a backup plan to help our small producers keep going. So a little bit about Rogue Valley Food System Network, and then I'll turn the mic over to Renee, because we actually work together on the Rogue Valley Food System Network Council. I mentioned the Food System Network was our fiscal sponsor. We also worked hand in hand with them on the community food assessment, which had not been done since 2012. And so post-pandemic, the situation is very different about the state of the food system right now. So now we have a really good understanding of what resources we have, the status of our food system in Josephine and Jackson County, and the gaps, what we need to work on to make it better. The community prioritized these 4 action items. 1 is ensuring food access to all who need it. 2 is building a thriving farm economy. 3 is reducing food waste. And 4 is protecting our environment that grows all of our food. So those are open to the public. If you want to get more engaged or just listen in, you're always welcome to attend any of those working groups. The flavor guide I mentioned, we publish 20,000 of these a year. So if you want to get into that for the next year, let me know. The Regional Food Solution Summit's coming up on January 16th. So if you want to come, let me know and I'll get you the link to register. It is probably the single most best event of the season to connect with everyone in one place. And then Some of you may know that the LFPA funding, which is a federal funding that allowed us as a farm collective to purchase from our producers, local producers, and donate for emergency food assistance. And we supported the Josephine County Food Bank with about 6,000 pounds of locally grown fresh food every year. Thank you. We also support their 13 food pantries and 18 additional nonprofit organizations that need food, like IV Hope Village, IV Living Solutions, Project Youth Plus. All of them are sourcing food from us and our local producers. So all of that funding has been cut. And so in an attempt to try to fill some of those gaps, Rogue Valley Food System Network has started the Rogue Good Food Fund. And I also left some brochures. If you can support our work in so many different ways. You can be a volunteer, a customer, just order some food. There's individual memberships, or there's lots of opportunity for program sponsorships. If you would like to talk more, just let me know. All right, I'm going to introduce Renee. She's with the Medford Food Project, and I work with her cohort, Scott Perry, for the most part. But I'll let her tell you about the food project going on, too.
Thank you. I appreciate it. As she said, I am with the Medford Food Project. It is just one of the food projects available in Jackson County. About in 2009, the idea was to find a way to create an ongoing food resource for pantries in the community of Ashland. Everybody knows that at the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, there are lots of donations to food banks, which is wonderful. But the food banks need them all year long, and that was a big gap. And so this program was put together to try and address that gap, find a way to make it a sustainable way to provide food donations to these food pantries, and to do it in such a way that it's super easy for donors. The way the food project, and it's under Medford Food Project, is under the umbrella of the Neighborhood Food Project. The way it works is that we get people to sign up and agree to be ongoing donors. Rather than just one time, you agree to be a donor throughout the year. And the way that works is we give our donors a green bag, and if you're in Jackson County, there's a real good likelihood that you've seen these, you know all about the green bag. We give that to our donor and we say, when you go to the grocery store, maybe pick up one or two additional non-perishable items, take it home and put it in your green bag. You can fill this bag with as much or as little as you want. It's totally up to you. Every 2 months, we will then ask you to put that green bag outside your front door. That's all you have to do. One of our other volunteers in the program will come by, pick up that green bag, and leave you an empty one, and the cycle continues. The Medford Food Project and almost all of the food projects in Jackson County, and there are 5 of them right now. We call ourselves the Jackson 5, the Fantastic 5. We have a food project in Ashland, Talent, Phoenix, Eagle Point, and Medford. And Medford we collect in Central Point and Jacksonville as well. And each one is tweaked in a little different way based on their community and the resources available to work with nonprofits. In Medford, we work with 13 different pantries. And we do that in cooperation with Access. I don't know if you know about the Access program. It's a hub of resources for housing, gas support, things like that. Wonderful thing about the food project to me is that it is really flexible. In Ashland, that food project works directly with the Ashland Food Bank. They're housed there. The bags that are collected are taken there, emptied, distributed from there. In Medford, we work with Access and use their parking lot at their big warehouse. All the bags that we collect We bring there, and we have 45 to 60 volunteers that help us unload the bags, sort through them, rebox them so that they're evenly distributed in what they contain, in a mass of banana boxes. Then they're palletized, and they're sent out to the food projects, the different food pantries. This way, throughout the year, and we collect those bags the second Saturday of every other month. So in February, April, June, August, October, and December, and our next one in December is coming up very soon. Foods are coming into these pantries around the year, throughout the year. One thing that's really wonderful about these programs, I think, is their flexibility. With the recent shutdown of the government and concerns about access to SNAP benefits, we were able within 1 week, because we already had the structure of this program in place, to do a flash food drive. We reached out to our donors, said what we were doing. We were able to use the same facilities that we have been using, and the same volunteers came out, and we collected in 1 day, after just a week's notice, over 9,000 pounds of food. In terms of, I can give you some statistics on, well, just for Medford. At our usual collection, we average about 28,000 pounds for each collection. And that goes directly to our 13 pantries. Let's see. Basically, the goal is to ensure food access to folks, and as I said, to make it as easy as possible. A lot of times we know that people want to do something, they don't have the time to go out and volunteer, they don't have transportation, they don't feel like they have much they can give, but this allows them to use their own discretion on how much they can give, and just do it within their house, put the bag out front, and we pick it up for them. Let's see. I guess that's a majority of it. I have a copy of our brochure on some of those tables if you're interested. We do work with most of our costs associated with running the program are basically the purchase of our green bags. And we have some cards that we attach to them each time, thank you cards, that we have sponsors throughout the community that are willing to do that for that pickup. So they get their name out, and they're able to be supportive to our program as well. If you want more brochures, they're available. I'm welcome to answer any questions.
Can we thank you both? Thank you.
Sure.
If you will have questions, all right.
So the green bag sounds like a fabulous thing that you've already got going and have tweaked it and made it really work. Are there any interest in doing something like that in Josephine County?
I can tell you, sorry, I spoke to...
It's to both of you, yeah,
all right.
either one.
Patrice Hanlon,
Yep.
with the Grants Pass Food Bank, and she would have been here except for the fact that with it being the holidays, they are really short on volunteers, and she didn't feel she could step away to do this. She needed to be there. I know that for about 5 years, there was an attempt to have a Grants Pass food project, and it was up and down, hard time getting a lot of steady volunteers. Over time, and people moved away that were involved with it. Over time, Patrice stepped in, and basically parts of it have been melded into the Josephine County Food Bank. And they do provide, as you said, food resources to 13 different school pantries. And the focus of it in Josephine County is kids first. Right. That was the highest need. And I think statistically, yeah, it's like over 19% are children in facing food insecurity in Josephine County. And so the way they've taken the program and kind of morphed it, and that's part of the flexibility of it that I really like, is they collect foods directly for students. You know, things that are easily, juice pouches and things like that.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you.
Hi, I have a couple questions. The first one is, when do you offer the kid farmers market experiences where they get to learn how to shop for food?
Yeah, so the last 2 years we've been working with the Boys and Girls Club in Phoenix, Talent, Grants Pass, and Kirby. We've done them all twice now. And so really we wait for those groups to come and approach us. That activity has been funded by Oregon Health Authority and Carpenter Foundation, so that funding has been cut as well.
So if I had a group of kids, I could get a hold of you for that, possibly?
We,
Wonderful.
we would need some funding to make it happen, though.
Yeah, and that would probably be a certain time of year when there's produce available.
Yeah, normally we do it between May and October.
May and
So,
October.
if you want, everything we offer is in season. So, fruit is always, the most desired over vegetables. Although I had one little boy, I was so excited when he picked the kale. And I'm like, yes, he took the kale. And he's like, my turtle is going to love this. So I'm like, no. But they say the funniest things when they're shopping. Yeah. Just to give you some perspective as a business, if you are looking to sponsor a program to feed 50 kids at a kids' farmers market, it's about $2,500. Yeah. For each event. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My other question, really quick, was do you ever help people? I mean, there's so many people that have fruit trees and grow food on their property, but they're not like official farmers and they don't have a business. Do you ever connect people to gleaners, to people who like, I want to harvest, but I don't know of anybody? And the people like, oh, I have all this produce on my property, I need help.
I'm so glad you asked
yeah.
because we're actually kicking that off the beginning of next year. So we've been just kind of mobilizing some community partners to start doing that, especially because we work so closely with the food bank. And I don't know if you ever go there, but their shelves are bare. They are bare. And normally those pantries get their food. We deliver to the food bank. They disseminate it out to the pantries. The pantries are calling us because there just isn't anything at the food bank to share. So yes, we are starting a gleaning program. There's been some like start and stop groups, neighborhoods and such, so we're trying to organize in such a way it would be a larger effort to continue that. So keep posted, sign up for our newsletter so that when that program gets launched, we'll announce it. But yes, we will, definitely. We'll be working with the food bank because a lot of that we can't sell, right? Because they're not producers our producers have insurance and we make sure everything's vetted and is organic and that kind of thing. So anything that's gleaned has to go through a whole nother procedure for food safety reasons. So we'll be working with the food bank closely on that and all of our food pantries.
Hi, I'm Cindy with Radish Kimchi. I had a question regarding who do you give this food to when you collect it from people's houses? To me, a lot of people are already getting, food stamp and, like all this, but yet there's people who are working hard that they don't quite make it to get any assistance, but yet they need help. Are you giving those people help?
We do not give it directly to people. We collect it, break it down, rebox it, and it goes directly to food pantries for example, in Medford, food pantries that are available in Grants Pass or Central Point, Jacksonville, and Medford. And then individuals can go to those food pantries. We do not give it out ourselves. Different pantries have different guidelines that they follow to give out. Some, I believe, are pretty open. Anybody that shows up their door can come and pick things up. I think others have some guidelines that you have to pre-sign up, but it varies from town to town and from pantry to pantry.
On behalf of the Farm Collective, we have some subsidies that are regulated by the funders. So like our protein discounts, you need to find some eligibility. Our SNAP is obviously regulated. Double Up Food Bucks is regulated. So there has to be some eligibility. But for our emergency food assistance, I can tell you we've delivered out to families who evacuated wildfires that were living in fields because they had animals to feed, so they couldn't go to the Red Cross Center. If they ask for food, we'll give it to them. So we've had funding to do that. That funding has been cut, so we can't continue to do that until we replace it. But yeah, we pretty much have no barrier food access. If someone says we're hungry, we'll give them food. We just make sure it's healthy.
So, I have a question. I think I might have two questions. So my first question is, what a fabulous program, the Green Bag program. And I don't understand why. Maybe it's planning a different group of people. Why do you think that program will not work in Josephine County?
I would not say that it will not work. I can only tell you what I was told, that the past history of what they tried to get going here. I think every community is different, and every community resources and sources of food provisions vary. And so part of what I like about the Neighborhood Food Project is that it basically is designed to try and provide a sort of an infrastructure to collect the foods and get it to food providers. I don't see any reason why any one community could not use that infrastructure. It could be modified in ways to suit your community. And as I said, from what I understand, it has been sort of morphed into the Josephine County Food Bank, where they've decided to use it to target these Kids First programs, where they provide nutritional foods to children. And so it's not to say that it was thrown out. It's just designed to be used in the best way that makes it easy for people and to keep those food sources going to the food banks.
I might just add too that when you look at the demographics of our county, we have a lot of isolation, and we're very rurally spread out. And 50% of our population is over 65 and under 18. So, and those parties all have driving restrictions. Not all, but many of them, in those categories. So I think if you're looking at someone to have, lifting restrictions for a heavy bag of canned food, or maybe they don't have transportation, those are the same audiences that we're serving with low income and access problems. So I think it's a demographic consideration.
And that's interesting to me because I used to work at the WaFd Bank out at Junction, the Illinois Valley. Very generous community. Very, very generous. And so obviously Jackson County is very generous. So I just was wondering about that makes me wonder about our own personal community.
Good questions to ask. Patrice at the food bank, since she has been really the point person in managing the volunteers, and that's kind of start and stop program, she would probably have more answers for you. So
Interesting.
I live out rurally here in Josephine County, and I am in the process of building a food pantry for my local neighborhood because there's a lot of people who are low income and geographically somewhat stationary, hard to get into town on a regular basis. But you were talking about how a lot of your producers who are giving to the food pantries have certain insurances and things like that. Do you have any resources, even just like a list of guidelines or recommendations for somebody to have that kind of stuff, insurances and protections, so that I'm providing safe food to my neighborhood, but also if I had surplus to donate to a food pantry, that I would be able to partner more easily?
yes, I would highly recommend that you join our Food Hub network. You don't have to have a big facility. I started when I was just using my living room, which is maybe how you start. So, yeah, we have a huge amount of resources that are free and available to where all of us who have grown have been through that. So, lots of expertise to share. So we meet once a month, virtually, in the box.
All right, let's give them a hand. Big thank you. Don't go anywhere. Come back up. Come on back up here. Come back up here. Technical difficulties this morning. You just turned everything down. You just turned it all down. I have no volume now. That's all right. Yep, that's okay. We've only done it like 12 months in a row, so. Thank you. I'm back. I just wanted to give this to you. And this to you, our two newest inductees into the Orange Mug Club. And just say thank you for all the work that you're doing in our communities. It's obviously amazing. There were more questions, and so as you just make sure that you put eyes on these two, and you can ask them the questions as you're roaming about. But we have another surprise for you, which is an update. So thank you very much, ladies. Kim's going to introduce. We've got an update coming. So. Oh. There you go. And then we're gonna invite you to visit with our food vendors. We have some amazing food back here. Season of Giving. Everyone is here to support this community, and we'd love to have you visit them as well. So, Kim.
All right, great, thank you. Willie and Christina, would you like to join us on the stage? I'm going to just share a little bit of the journey. When we talk about the ecosystem, it's just this really incredible story. If you were here at the 1MC when Willie and Christina presented, you learned about their company, Stone Metal, and just how happenstance happens when you're an entrepreneur. You never know what's gonna happen next. They've worked with Terry Hopkins at the Chamber, and Terry introduced us. And then they've been mentoring with both Terry and myself, but we identified, where their needs were and what that looked like and how could we help them, kind of get past this barrier to further grow their business. And so it has been just an incredible journey to work with both of them, get to know them. They're outstanding humans. And so I am not going to ruin the surprise. I am going to let them share with you something that really remarkable that happened and how we got them funding. Take it away.
I'm Willie.
I'm Christina.
We were planning on coming up here and kind of making you guys aware of a crowdfunding thing that we were trying to do, so that we could get a little bit of extra help and ask you guys to work with us to get that progress going. But it actually already happened. So it's all done. Yeah. It went really well. If you don't know what Hivve is, it's super cool. It's a crowdfunding program. You should check it out. We wanted to get a small loan for $9,500. It was basically just to cover some equipment, mostly to help me speed up my process a little bit so I could get this backlog of orders that I have done. But it's also just for equipment for ergonomics and, being easier on my eyes and my fingers and my back and everything like that. So just some equipment to help with that. It went super good. The idea is that you get 20 people that you know personally to donate or to lend $25, and then it goes live to the public, to the whole website. So within the first day, 20 people lended, and some of you contributed, so thank you so much. And then the next day, it was open to the public, and then it got funded within a day after that. So
48 hours.
Stoked. 48 hours and we're done. So thank you so much. We still have no idea what we're doing, but it's getting a lot better. It's a lot more clarity. We're starting to understand how to do things right with pricing, taxes, just all the stuff. And a few weeks ago, we came here, and that's why we feel so much more confident, is because the community has helped us a lot. We wouldn't have known about the loan thing. We wouldn't have known about most of the things we know now that's given us a confidence to run our business if it wasn't for the community and people helping us out. So it's awesome. Keep coming to this thing. It's a big deal.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. When I first came here, we very first came in May, I believe, and I still am very overwhelmed and anxious, but now I feel like there's this big group of people in our community that I can turn to. There was a time when people would ask, well, how much does your product cost you to make, and how much are you making off of it? I don't know. I've made a business plan with help from mentors. I've been able to find out how to crunch those numbers, and even if I don't know them now, I know how to find them. And if I don't, I have people to ask. And so coming here has really showed me that the community is here for us. There's real live humans. I don't have to Google everything or ask AI. Like, there's actual humans here who see us, support us, and love us. And we're just super excited to be involved, and we can't wait to be able to give back as well. Everything we're learning is so exciting, and I feel like I at least have someone to catch us now if we're not sure what we're doing. So thank you.
Awesome.
I wanted to add, if you want to check out Stone Metal, they're on Instagram. You can go follow them. And then both Christina and Willie are wearing the metal nails that kind of launched them into this whole space. So if you have questions for them or would like to look at the nails or hear about their journey, they'll be in the room. But thank you both so much. It was such a great success story. Thank you.
Also, I wanted to mention a couple of events that are coming up here, put on by Main Street Grants Pass. So the Cocoa Crawl is happening on December 6th downtown. There's a whole bunch of different locations. It is a bit of a competition as far as who makes the best hot cocoa, and so please join that. It's going to be amazing, a lot of fun. And then also Shop, Dine, and Win is something that there was a version of a while back, and we're resurrecting that through Main Street. And it's a holiday promotion that starts December 1st and runs through the 20th. And when you shop in many of the downtown locations, you'll receive these Scratch It tickets where you can win prizes. There's instant winnings, but there's also one golden ticket that gives you a $1,000 downtown shopping spree. So that could come in handy for the holidays as well, right? So I'm going to run around and give you guys these because it doesn't, technically you can't get these until December 1st. But because you're here, we have some tickets for you as a thank you for showing up and supporting today. We know people, so awesome. Let's have another big hand for our presenters today. Would you help hand those out, please? Thank you. And then also, I would love to invite you just to say that we're gonna go long today and hang out. We're going to extend the time frame. You can hang out. We have pizza and barbecue, and there's mustard and kimchi and cheesecake, and there's some really incredible vendors to visit with. So we invite you to get some food, enjoy yourself, enjoy each other. And did you have anything else, Claudia?
I was just informed too, on your tables there are the stickers for the kimchi, and one of them is marked. And if you find the marked sticker, you get a free jar of the kimchi. Ooh. So in the back, and then just come talk to all of the vendors. What?
Oh, we have a winner.
What? Look at you.
Are they gone? Okay.
So, other than that, enjoy, have fun, eat.
And we will see you next week, too. So. one more thing, one more quick thing is Happy Thanksgiving.